Hi, and welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame from the home offices in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm Jeffrey Driscoll.
And I'm Jim Kerr.
You know, we've got a lot to talk about today, Jim, but, we got a little time. Did you get up to anything good on Saturday night?
Yeah, actually, I went to see roller derby for the first time.
Roller derby?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, you heard of it?
Yeah, I actually ended up going to roller derby on Saturday night, too. It was Oil City roller derby or something.
Yeah, the Derby Girls. Yeah.
Oh, so you were there?
Yeah. I didn't see you there.
That's so weird. I didn't see you there. And I actually got a picture taken with a bunch of them.
So did I.
Huh.
Well.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were at roller derby this weekend. We had a lot of fun.
Tried as I might to avoid this guy.
Yeah, exactly. For some reason, we actually ended up sitting together. So I had a lot of fun. So Jim, what do you think? What did you think about the game?
It's an interesting sport.
It is an interesting sport.
The rules are a little confusing at first.
Yeah.
But, you know, they got the programs and everything.
Exactly.
They're pretty good with describing what's going on.
Yeah, ended up the B team for the Oil City roller derby girls, the Tanker girls. They ended up losing to the Prince George team. Special teams, man, killed them.
Yeah, special teams.
Man, you get in the bench like that, and that's what's gonna happen.
Gotta kill those penalties.
Gotta kill those penalties. So, what did you think? If let's say if you were doing roller derby, what would your name be? They had a lot of fun names.
Wow.
That they were. What?
Yeah, I think I would be a rolling luchador.
Yeah, okay, Mexican,
from, yeah, from the Mexico City borough of Iztapalapa.
Nice.
Named Elbow.
Elbow. Now, would you wear the luchador mask?
Absolutely.
You'd have to, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Oh yeah. How about yourself?
Well, I mean, I think actually I'd be part of the Kevin Lowe group of don't know if you know this, but his family's actually in the roller derby. Kevin Lowe and one of his kids is named Loeb, and I would go with that. Low blow.
Yeah, you know what? That doesn't surprise me.
So that would be my name if we were doing
Low
that.
blow and elbow.
Yeah, so you can
Coming soon.
You can check out some of the Oil City roller derby. You can check out their blog actually on anysportanytime.ca, which is kind of the same place that we're at. So go check that out. So carrying on, Super Bowl coming up here, Jim. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers are set to play the biggest football game of the year this coming weekend. The Vegas odds makers are giving the Steelers the edge, it looks like. And of course, they have the special weapon, your boy, Troy Polamalu.
Absolutely.
So what do you think? Who's your pick?
Well, it's Clay Matthews in his hair against Troy Polamalu in his hair.
The hair bowl.
Both sets of hairs have their own Twitter accounts, believe it or not. I'm going to take the Steelers because I like Polamalu. He's my guy. But it's going to be a very tightly contested game, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Strong defenses on both sides of the ball, but I think the Steelers are just going to eke it out.
No, I agree. I got to go with the Steelers on this one, too. I mean, Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers are making Cheesehead fans go, Brett who? But, you know, I still don't think they have it. I think the Steelers' defense is going to take it. And, I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't know if it'll be even a touchdown that'll be the difference, but it's going to be close. So I got to go with the Steelers too. Check back with us next week and we'll see how we did.
I've done woefully on my NFL.
Have you? Yeah.
On my playoff picks, so
just brutal.
It's probably a Green Bay win.
All right. So, one of the big stories in Canadian media this week was Wayne Gretzky, the former Oiler. I don't know if you know.
That's right.
Yeah, he turned 50 this week, and you couldn't throw a stone without hitting some sort of Canadian media picking up that, doing the Happy Birthday Wayne story, including a little story on Kersey's notebook.
Yeah. Well, you know, I felt like I had to get in there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the coverage was so crazy that if you didn't know it was his birthday, you probably thought, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah, well, exactly.
What disease does he have?
Is he dead? You know, exactly. But, a little Gretzky love never hurt anybody. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with that.
And it being the All-Star edition.
The old All-Star
Me and Jeff were voted into the 15 Minutes of Fame All-Star squad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Tight vote.
Tight vote.
1-1. Yeah.
So so it was big. But what did you think about that? What did you think about all the Gretzky stuff out there?
Well,
you think it was warranted?
In all honesty, it shows what an impact he's had on the country and the game. A bit over the top, but again, it just really shows you just how impactful he was on hockey in general, and Canadians, Edmontonians, alike, and I think he was probably embarrassed by the amount of coverage. And
he was everywhere.
But
yeah, good on him. And I'm sure all our viewers have seen this before. But my favorite line was, Wayne Gretzky turned 50. He did it in 39 years. I thought that was fantastic. All the different stuff that they did. I mean, I'm a huge Gretzky fan, as you can see. So I didn't mind it. I can understand people who maybe don't like Gretz as much, not liking the coverage as much, but I loved it.
The ironic thing is, turning 50 is the least impressive of his accomplishments.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyone can do that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
So Gretzky was a perennial All-Star, he enjoyed the All-Star game. He was pretty good, yeah. He always said too that it was an honor to play in the All-Star game. Speaking of the NHL All-Star game, that happened over this weekend. There's a whole bunch of different things, but this year they changed it up, so they had a fantasy draft this year, Jim. It was on Friday night there, hosted by TSN. There's Team Lidstrom versus Team Stahl. They got to pick all the different players. What did you think of the whole fantasy event?
Well, I like the idea.
Yeah.
I think in the future it should be more about the players and the personalities. I'd like to see it hosted by... they should vote the captain, they should vote the assistants, and then they should vote a host.
Absolutely. And the players should do that, not the fans or anything like that. Absolutely. I agree. They should. And they should have... I mean, the best part of the whole fantasy draft was the mic'd up guys in the audience. They'd go to them and they're making fun of other guys and stuff. I think it should be a completely player run. I agree with you. I thought TSN, they're good, but I thought they were forcing it a little bit, and even a player panel to talk about it and to chirp other guys while they're doing it. I think that'd be hilarious. But
and you know what? Jeff was picked last for our All-Star draft.
That happened.
He didn't get a car, though.
I didn't get a car.
No.
I did get the $20,000 to give to my charity, but I kept
$20,000 what?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to move on to our good and bad by you now, the Gabby segment. This is where we take the best and the worst stories from across the world of sport from you guys. You guys submit them to us, and then we talk about them here. First, on the good side is actually us. Whee! 15 Minutes of Fame hit our 1,000th view this week, and in no small part thanks to our viewers in Sweden. Last week we talked about Peter Forsberg, and for some reason that got us a bunch of hits from Sweden. So thank you to people in Sweden.
Yeah.
And I think we want more hits from Sweden. So we're just gonna talk about some Swedish guys, Henrik and Daniel Sedin.
Yeah. Nick Lidstrom.
Nick Lidstrom.
Yeah.
Magnus Pjarvi.
Yeah, Henrik Larsson, a soccer player. He's my boy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Henrik Zetterberg. Yeah, Henrik Zetterberg.
And
Henrik
Swedes. Yeah. IKEA.
Yeah, IKEA. Yeah.
Also.
So now that we've said them, we can put them in our tags.
That's right.
And we can get more hits from
Hello,
Sweden. Hello, Sweden.
All right. On the another good is Lea Sweatt.
Oh yeah.
The older brother of Bill Sweatt.
Yep.
Scored his first career NHL goal,
Attaboy,
his first career NHL game, on his first career NHL shot this past week, and it was the game winner.
Attaboy.
And right after that game, he had the All-Star break. Think about how cool it was that all that happened.
Sure.
And if they call up Bill, because he also plays for the Manitoba Moose.
Yeah, there you go.
They'll have two sweaty brothers.
Two sweaty brothers.
And two sets of brothers.
Two sets of brothers at the same time. Can't beat that. That's fantastic. I mean, they've probably put in some hard work and some hard sweat over the years to get up to where they are.
And don't sweat the technique, I suppose.
Absolutely not. And NFL Commissioner, on the good side again, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says he'll cut his salary from a whopping $10 million to just $1 if there's a lockout.
Closer to what we make.
Yeah, closer to what we make. And if the league's chief negotiator as well will also drop his salary to $1. Nice gesture by a guy who makes $10 million, another guy who makes $5 million. Is it PR smoke though, Jim?
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. There's no way he's not making $10 million this year. I don't know. I guess to me it's just another little battle in the PR war that's going on between the two sides.
Absolutely.
And I think it's time for the bad side now.
The bad side,
which sometimes is the good side.
Is the fun side.
St. Louis Blues defenseman Erik Johnson scored a beauty this past week. It was into his own net. Rebound came off goalie Ty Conklin. I think he went to put it into the corner, but he put it right down the middle.
And it was right in the middle of that net, too.
Yeah,
it was straight
in there. It was the opening goal of the game
shot,
early on in the game.
Yeah.
But don't sweat it.
Don't sweat it,
Erik, because I've seen even Paul Coffey score a goal that made you say,
What? How? What?
What?
Yeah, and
it happens.
Exactly,
it happens,
and you'll never be as bad as the Edmonton Oilers' own Steve Smith. So until you score a goal like that against yourself, you'll be just fine. Just try to watch.
Don't let it happen again.
Don't let it happen again. Last week, Jim, the Toronto Raptors failed to hit a 3-ball in the game for the first time since 1999. That's almost 1,000 games, Jim.
Jeff, I was 11 when I'm 45 now.
You look good for 45.
Thanks.
You're quite a good-looking 45.
Botox.
Exactly. They're riding an 11-game, or they're going into this past weekend with an 11-game losing skid, and currently they have the 3rd worst record in the league. What is going on with the Toronto Raptors, Jim?
They stink.
They do. They just straight up stink.
They're playing like they're extinct.
Yeah. Nice, because the
Raptors
are dinosaurs. That's nice work right there.
Oh, I don't know what it is though. They just, for some reason, they're having a woeful season, and maybe it's the slack left by Chris Bosh not being there. Maybe it's it seems like they should be good though.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. It's just a team chemistry thing. It looks like to me when I see them play, they're completely out of their sorts out there. I don't know if that's a coaching thing or needs to be a coaching change, or again blow it all up like the Blue Jays are doing and start all over again. Maybe that's what's got to happen.
They should trade for Vernon Wells.
That seemed to work out well for the GM of the Toronto Blue Jays. You got a not standing, but you got a clap from all the Blue Jays fans there when they were doing it. So I mean, Vernon Wells.
You play basketball, don't you?
I do play a little bit of basketball. I mean, I can be picked up for it's going to be above the league minimum, but yeah, it's going to be okay. Yeah, I scored like 2 points in my last men's league game.
Did you hear that?
I'm telling you, look out, Toronto Raptors. I'm killer. Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's my turn.
That's you. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just watching the NASCAR race and
right.
Off camera here.
Yes.
For the 6th hour. Fox Sports, who is the rights holder for NASCAR, wants NASCAR to maybe rein it in a little bit. They want it to fit into a 3-hour time slot so that they can maybe have some other programming on.
That's right.
They also want it to work on a normal schedule so that they can say, oh, it's Saturday at 2. That means the NASCAR race is on.
Exactly.
Instead of being all over the map. NASCAR says, yeah, we don't negotiate that kind of thing.
We don't do that.
Is it too much to ask to, 3 hours and, maybe in a regular time slot?
Yeah.
Does that seem unreasonable?
I don't think that's too much to ask. I mean, NASCAR's got some rabid fans, and I guess they'll watch it wherever it is on the dial and whatever time it is on the dial, but I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I think
when they're sofa gating.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely. I mean, good for them, but yeah, I think NASCAR's got to change here.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to our quick hits now. Jim, Ray Emery wants back in the NHL after rehabbing from his career-threatening injury. Should some team give him a chance?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's good enough.
I think, even if it's just that you give him a workout, see where he's at, I think he deserves to be back in the game, especially, dealing with what he had to deal with in the past year.
Maybe he should go back to the KHL and prove that he's better.
I don't think so.
Okay. Gary Bettman had his State of the Union address at the All-Star game this week. Says time is running out for the sale of the Phoenix Coyotes to Chicago businessman Matt Holsizer, but he says he doesn't want to get the good people in Winnipeg's hopes up about maybe getting the team back. He did say it would be good to go back to a place where we once were, though. Is he flip-flopping a little bit? What's going on there, Jim?
I think this is one time, and it doesn't happen often, but one time where I'm kind of not shaking my head when I hear Gary Bettman speak. It's good because the media in Winnipeg is all over any minor detail about this. So if he makes it say, oh yeah, well we could end up somewhere we were before, then they'd be all over it. But he's right to say, well, I don't want to get people's hopes up because it's a pending sale to Holsizer.
No, totally. The league's GMs, the NHL league's GMs, will be talking concussions again in their meetings in March. Do we think the league is doing enough to prevent these head injuries, and do you think it should be more in the hands of the players there, Jim?
I'm starting to change my thinking on this because how much can the league do before the onus is on the players to finally shore this up? The league can put in rules after rules after, but at some point it's, hey man, if you see a guy with his back turned or if you see a guy with his head down or not looking at you, don't hit him.
Absolutely. Well, that's our 15 Minutes of Fame wrap for this week. Check us out again next week when we get a whole new 15 Minutes of Fame. In the meantime, I'm Jeffrey Driscoll.
And I'm Jim Kerr.